Hi, this is Megan Freels Johnston, writer-director of The Ice Cream Truck, which is coming out August 18th on VOD.
And I'm Deanna Russo, star of Ice Cream Truck, and this is the 13th Wolfman!
Hello, new neighbor. Hi. Hi.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
My husband is in Seattle another week.
Did you know that we have an ice cream truck?
Something about him was so creepy.
Some things in this life are sacred. The ice cream truck being one of them. Good evening, young lady. What'll it be?
Welcome to the neighborhood, Mary.
It's nice to have some new blood on the block.
Come on up. It's where all my coolers are.
Hey everybody, I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know who I have with me tonight? I have a producer from an upcoming movie called Ice Cream Truck, Megan Freels Johnston. Welcome to Sit Down.
Hello there. I'm also the writer and director of The Ice Cream Truck.
Yes, but yeah, thank you.
Well, depending on who you talk to, certain jobs are, more important, but it could change. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm very honored to be here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here, and I'm looking forward to talking. I like the movie. This is actually probably my favorite independent movie this year that I've seen.
Really? That's so nice.
Yeah, I will honestly say the last one I thought that was really good was Gremlin, which I had the director on from that, but this felt more into the horror realm for me, and so I loved it just a little bit more. And as we were talking, you brought up the fact that you made Mary's character. Well, she's from this little hometown in nowhere, USA, but she came back from Seattle.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, that's a great thing for me. I'm born and raised Washingtonian, so very proud.
Right. And I live in Los Angeles, and I'm from a suburb, and I just think there's a difference, and I love the suburb where I'm from, and but there's a difference in way of life, and I think suburbia sometimes puts itself in its own little bubble, and it's a good reminder that there's more going on beyond your little street, and so it's very fish out of water for someone who had moved away from that. And, you think of the big city as so scary, but the suburbs have their own kind of scares.
Yeah, I grew up in a suburb just outside of Seattle myself. And the sad thing is that since I've moved away, it has turned into probably one of the biggest crime towns ever.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah. Every night you hear about it on the news. I mean, it's like, really?
Yeah.
It's just, ugh. So you're right. Suburbia does have its things to be scared of, I mean, this was a nice throwback to a lot of very simple horror films,
Yeah. And those are the kinds of horror films that I love. Like, I'm not a huge gore person, but I love suspense, and I love the music in a horror film, and just kind of that slow burn that I think most audiences still love. I think there are a lot of people that are too impatient for that kind of film these days, but I think the majority of people still want that.
Yeah, well, there are some movies that, I mean, I've talked about this with my fellow dork on Wicked Horror Show. Kevin, we've talked about the Innkeepers.
Oh yeah, I loved that. I'm a huge Ty West fan.
And I actually found that movie kind of boring.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Have
he
you
loved
seen
it.
House of the Devil? That's Ty West's first.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I don't know if it's his first, but it's all suspense and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I remember watching it going because everyone was talking about how great it was, so I picked it up for next to nothing, and I watched it. And I'm like, wow, it's got the look, it's got the music, it's got all this great stuff, but nothing really happens.
Yeah, try House of the Devil.
That was House of the Devil. That was the one.
Oh, you thought that about House of the Devil too? Yeah, I think it's a great movie. I mean, I
don't need the jump scares. I don't need everything jumping out at me all the time, but I need something to happen periodically.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't do jump scares at all. I don't know. I don't think I would know how to do so much of a jump scare because to me, jump scares aren't scary. I like to put things that are scary in my films that are scary in real life. So, some like Jeff Daniel Phillips in my film, I think is very scary. And that's an early scare in the movie. It's not like a kill in the beginning, but that's something that women find scary, that you guys don't have to deal with so much, but.
No, but creepy is all hell.
Yeah.
I love creepy. Next to if you don't have a jump scares, if you're having creepy and it's very atmospheric, because I love 70s horror.
Me too. That's my favorite.
The Omen is probably one of my all-time favorite movies.
Love The Omen.
No jump scares.
Rosemary's Baby I'm a big fan of. And I like Hitchcock a lot. The only really gory old horror filmmaker that I like is Dario Argento because it's not done in a gory way. It's done in a super cool artistic way.
Another awesome horror director and a great fan. Thank you. I love Argento.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The score to Deep Red I listened to like constantly when I did my first horror film. It just like inspired me and would give me chills. I don't even know if you can call it a score. I mean, it's like an album.
Yeah. Goblin.
I know.
Goblin is actually coming to Seattle.
Are they? I think they're touring. I've seen posts about this recently.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 cities that they're going to hit.
Yeah.
They're going to hit Boston. I know that, and I know they're going to hit Seattle. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Suspiria's score is really great too.
Yeah, Suspiria is like one of my. I love Suspiria, but I like Inferno, the second movie, just a little bit more.
I like Deep Red the best.
Well, I'm big on the Three Mothers trilogy. So you got Suspiria, Inferno, and Mother of Tears.
Right. I mean, are you supposed to call Deep Red or Profondo Rosso? I don't even know what the.
Well, it depends on what country you're standing in at the time.
Right. Yes, that's hilarious. That's really funny. But yeah, and I'm a big Carpenter fan. So I like all those old horror films, and I feel like that's a big influence for me because that's what I like. Like a movie that came out obviously recently, like It Follows, I loved. Like I like that just kind of slow, taking its time horror film. That's for me.
You said you're the writer on this, and I didn't lead into that because I was going to lead into this, and I was going to ask where you got your inspiration to write. Was it from your grandfather?
I mean, it wasn't. There's so many writers in my family that I guess it's just genetic. My uncle is a best-selling author. All of my other uncles are in advertising, and my father, who is not related to Elmore, is also a writer. So, like, I had writers coming at me genetically everywhere I turned. So I did not write, though. I wrote when I was younger, and then I became an artist. I was a painter, so I focused on that for a while. And then when I moved to LA, I thought it was producing. I didn't think I was like a good enough writer. I didn't even really go there. And then after just having so many films going to turn around, like I had some success as a producer. I'd done like a TV pilot and some other things, but things just took forever. And I thought, you know, it was after the recession. I'm like, I'm just going to make something myself. I'm going to start writing, you know, inexpensive horror movies because I loved horror. So that was kind of how that started. And I had written something before my first film, Rebound, that another director was going to do, but I don't think he thought he could do it for such a low budget. And it was, I mean, it was low budget, but not super low, but we still couldn't even get the financing. So then I wrote Rebound to do even cheaper. And I was like, I'll just direct it myself. I know that I can cut the corners. I don't care. It's not a vanity thing for me. I just love movies and I want to make a movie. So that's, you know, and it was more fulfilling than like these big producing gigs I had. So it really changed my trajectory as a filmmaker. I started writing probably like, I guess about 5 years ago, I've easily written 20 scripts.
Oh, wow.
So I can write very fast. And it was just something that was in me that I didn't know. It was dormant. And, you know, now I love it. So, and I like directing too.
That's cool because I have like 5 scripts that I've started that I haven't even come close to finishing them. It's been years.
Well, I think you have to finish them. That's the main thing. Like to me, I don't outline anything. I just write until I'm done. So even if my first draft is 70 pages, I need to know where it's going. And so I'll just like write, you know, type away until it's done. So, and then I go back in and kind of plump it up. That's my process. I
think it's cool that you have so many writers in your family because like I said, I did a little research and I found out that your grandfather was Elmore Leonard for the people that weren't sure who we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, he wrote 3:10 to Yuma, not Jackie Brown, but he wrote
Punch is what it was based on. Yeah. And Get Shorty and
Be Cool and all these other really great things. I mean, I've seen the original 3:10 to Yuma.
Yeah.
You know, not the remake.
The remake's good though. But he's written 43 or maybe 45 now, around 45 best-selling novels.
Wow.
So that's a lot. And then some short stories and yeah.
But I mean, it's just amazing that your family, it sounds like your family funnels that creative energy, you know?
Yeah. And I think also when you have people in your family that are successful, especially if you're not from a family that I don't come from a family that promotes laziness. I come from a family that's like, you work hard too, you can do this too, you know, or you can do whatever you want. My cousin Alex is in a pretty successful band, you know, called Proto Martyr. So
I've heard of them.
Yeah, have you heard of? He's the drummer, and like, so the point that I say that is that, you know, there's just, if you have a creative force in your family and you have the drive to achieve your goals, you know, you can.
That's very cool. So what inspired you to, I mean, just out of curiosity, the movie itself, what inspired you to write this particular movie? I mean,
I had written several scripts before this, you know, some that had directors attached. But when I wrote this script, it seemed the most clear that this was going to be my next film. Like, it just seemed the most personal to me. It was about a mid-30s mom, you know, moving back to her hometown. It was contained enough. You know, I'd only directed one movie, so I'm not, you know, I like to put myself in the best possible position to succeed. So I'm not going to, you know, set my sights out to direct a space movie, you know, as my second movie. Like, this had 4 locations. I really related to it. Didn't seem too expensive to make. So it just all fell into place. And so it was like, this is it. This is the next one. And, you know, and I knew Deanna. So I sent her the script under the guise of, you know, hey, would you give me some notes? And I would never dare ask her, like, hey, do you want to star in this movie? Because I just thought that would be tacky. So, because what if she hated it? You know, you never know. And I don't like to put people on the spot. So she loved it. And so we went off and running from there. I attached her, and then we found, producers and financiers and the whole thing.
Yeah. So when I saw Deanna was in this, I'm like, oh my God, yes.
What had you seen her in that you were a big fan of?
Being Human.
Oh, okay.
She played Kat Neely, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, and she's a big sci-fi fan. She loves probably all the things that you guys love. And she's great in this movie. I think she's amazing. I'm really excited for people to see her in it. So, yeah, I wrote the script, and we shot less than 11 months after I completed the script. We shot 11 months later. So that was how quickly that came together.
Wow. So how long was the shoot?
15 days.
Wow. I keep on hearing these amazing timelines of people that put out these. No, I mean, this is a compliment, because to me, 15 days doesn't sound like it's a long time to put out a competent movie. Well put together, well edited movie. And when I hear 15, I'm like, wow, I applaud you.
You don't have a lot of money. You have to use the resources that you have. And fortunately, with this, like, everybody loved the script. So people came on and, for maybe obviously less than what they would normally make, because, one of my goals, because I'm a producer first and foremost, like, I love the horror genre because, people are going to see it. The horror community is amazing. They're very supportive. They see everything. So that's a good thing to do. But I don't write, no offense, but like dumb horror. I try to write horror with like a message or like stuff going on. So if I can combine like the thoughtful indie in the horror genre, then I can get people to want to watch it and like it. And there's less of a risk for a financier. Try to finance an indie drama. Good luck. Like you can't. So, so that combination allows it to get made. I can get the money because it's a horror, and I can get the actors because it's thoughtful. So that combo, and then you have to try to get it done in the 15 days or however long. I don't think we had like one day of reshoots that was just like stock stuff.
Still, that's super impressive.
And we didn't go overtime.
Wow.
Because I have kids and no one wants to go home and sleep more than I do, so not that I really saw my kids during the shooting, but really I just wanted to sleep, and be fresh. But yeah, it was a really fun time and everyone had a great time. It was not grueling at all. It was just fun.
Wow. So you write it, you shoot it. It's now shot, and you're taking it to an editing bay. Who's doing it for you?
My editor did both of my films. His name is Eric Potter. He did Underworld, Rise of the Lycans. He worked on The Lincoln Lawyer. He has amazing credits if you check him out. He did the Vatican tapes. He's done tons of stuff. And he worked on my first film. Basically I was like a charity case. And because I was not a lot of money. And he also executive produced both of my films. So I take it to him, and then he does a pass, and then we go back and forth about it. I'm not one of those people that sits with an editor and annoys the crap out of them. Like, they're the pros, and I can tell right away certain takes I don't like. And if you have a good script supervisor, they tell the editor the best takes and things like that. And yeah, it was super easy. I didn't have a post team with my first film until after I shot it, whereas this film, everyone was all lined up. My sound mixer, my composer, everybody was ready to go. Okay. So it's pretty easy.
So you got it all done. It went to Uncorked is the one that's going to distribute it for you.
Yeah.
So I mean, how long did that take to get the distribution behind it?
Well,
I've heard some horror stories, so.
Yeah, I'm a very impatient person, so I probably didn't take it to that many distributors. But I liked Keith from Uncorked right away, and I didn't want to be with some big distributor where they would just like throw the movie out there and not care about anything and charge me a bunch of money or whatever. Like I didn't want tons and tons of money going into the marketing so that people, like investors, didn't make their money back. Like it's a business at the end of the day. You have to still make smart decisions. So Uncorked was amazing, and they were super nice, and it's been a great experience with them because they have been, marketing the film, and they did a great trailer, and the posters they've done are super fun and awesome. And yeah, so I mean, I lucked out. Keith, when I talked to him, he was like, I really loved your film, but it's a polarizing film. There are going to be some people who hate it, and there's going to be some people who love it. And I knew that going in, and I'm proud to say that since the reviews have come out, I would say like 80% of the people really, really like it. There's only certain people that like have no idea that there's anything going on underneath the obvious,
Right.
And so those are the people who don't like it because they're like, oh, it's not scary or whatever, They don't see that there's subtext, and that's okay. That horror has all different types of movies for everybody.
Yeah, it does. And when does this finally hit the VOD in the
August
show?
15th. August 18th, it's going to be in a theater in LA, and it's going to also be on VOD, and then November it comes on DVD. Hey, there's a pretty lady in my house. Look, we did it. And now my dogs are barking as I said that they would. So Deanna will be back. She's going to use the loo real quick. Pardon my dogs barking.
That's okay. If we'll just wrap this up. If people are looking for you on the internet, where do you want them to find you socially?
My Twitter is #1 Megan, and my Instagram is Meg Freels, and I think that's it. You hear them? They're the worst.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's funny. I did one interview once where the dogs were barking and they were like, "What is happening?" I'm like, I don't know. What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna put it?
I interviewed one young lady that her dog was chewing on her foot the whole time.
Really?
She was, just all you heard from time to time the dog going. So I'm used to
hilarious. I'm a dog lover, so I'm a movie lover, a dog lover, an alcohol lover, among many other enthusiast type things. So yeah, but people should check out The Ice Cream Truck August 18th on VOD, anywhere you can rent a movie. It's a super fun throwback 80s psychological thriller slasher with some kind of other elements thrown in. So it's fun. People are really digging it.
I say check it out. I liked it. So for Megan Freels Johnston, I am the 13th Wolfman, and of course, I'm on the prowl.
Bye.